So nice to be here alongside so many other talented experts on the Futurist Expo. So just want to say good afternoon to all of you. It's a genuine pleasure to be here with all of you today. My name is Devyn Benner. I co-founded Oko Universe alongside my business partner, Jasmine Jacks, pictured there. Today, I'm excited to take you through the journey of Oko Universe, which encompasses three distinct yet interconnected branches: Oko Strategy, Oko Assembly, and Oko Approved. So our venture, co-founded in 2021, had a rather unconventional start. Unlike the traditional path where one establishes a business and then seeks a co-founder, Oko Universe actually grew organically from daily entrepreneurial discussions amongst myself and Jasmine. We didn't initially set out with a big plan or formal business structure, but instead we allowed our shared interests and complementary skills to guide the formation of what would eventually become Oko Universe. So in the next 30 minutes, I'll share with you our origin story, how we've navigated the rapidly changing business landscape, and our strategic pivot towards automation, as well as our vision for the future. So I'll also discuss client engagement and how that's evolved and what trends we anticipate to shape our industry in the coming years. And by the end of this presentation, you'll have a comprehensive understanding of not just what Oko Universe is today, but where we've come from and where we're headed. So let's begin this journey by exploring the birth and evolution of Oko Universe. So Oko began as quite an experiment. We were just curious to see what could be achieved by leveraging our network and skills. Our partnership brought together expertise from various backgrounds. So mine was in art, fashion, and politics, and from different global hubs, including Vancouver, Paris, and Hong Kong. My co-founder, Jasmine, brought her specialized knowledge in fashion and tech developed in Vancouver, along with an extensive network from her New York upbringing. So this diversity in our backgrounds became our strength, allowing us to approach problems from multiple angles and bring fresh perspectives to the table. In those early days, we were driven by curiosity and a desire to explore different possibilities rather than, as mentioned previously, a predetermined business model. So we asked ourselves, what could be achieved at the intersection of our collective skills? What gaps exist in the market that our unique combination of experiences might fill? And these questions thus led to establish Oko Strategy as our first venture. And so initially, Oko positioned itself as a digital strategy firm. However, we quickly realized that our clients needed more than just strategic direction. They needed execution as well. So this insight prompted our first evolution, expanding from strategy into a full spectrum brand identity and marketing agency. This transformation wasn't planned from the outset, but it was a response to the needs that we were observing in the market. Our clients would come to us with strategic questions, but they also wanted support in implementing the solutions that we proposed. So by expanding our services to include execution, we could provide more value and then build deeper and more meaningful client relationships. And as we grew, we continued to adapt. So the global landscape is obviously changing really rapidly, from the pandemic reshaping work patterns to geopolitical shifts affecting supply chains and economic priorities. We recognize that in order to stay relevant, not only within the marketing industry as experts, but also within our clients and their day-to-day, we needed to be agile and responsive to these changes. So this led to further evolution of our service offerings, but most importantly, our operational model. So today, Oko Strategy has matured into a holistic consultancy that services various sectors, including fashion, technology, hospitality, and more. We also work with a lot of finance clients. And we've deliberately maintained our ability, seeing it as a competitive advantage in a business landscape where the only constant is change. And our approach involves understanding the unique challenges facing each industry we work with and tailoring our strategies accordingly. So for a tech startup, that might mean focusing on rapid scaling and market penetration. For an established fashion brand, it might involve digital transformation and sustainability initiatives. And for a public service provider, it could center on user experience and regulatory compliance. So this adaptability is embedded in our company DNA, and we don't believe in a one-size-fits-all solution, and we don't restrict ourselves to a single industry or approach, but instead we leverage our diverse experiences and continuously expand our knowledge to meet clients where they are and help them navigate where they want to be. There's been so many times where we've learned something in one industry that seems completely separate from the other, like for example, coming from fashion and art background, but the aesthetics that we learned there and the creativity and the network can also benefit very diverse industries like defense tech or finance, hedge funds, etc. So now I'd just like to pause for a minute. If we could, briefly just reflect, and I would invite all of you to reflect on your own industries. So just how rapidly that things have changed in your own field over the past year, and beyond your industry, how worldwide shifts are impacting your day-to-day at work. And not necessarily just at work, if you're working on a passion project or you have a hobby that's changing quickly, just take a second to kind of reflect and understand, okay, well, what used to change maybe once every 5 years turn into every year, it's now quarterly. And in the future, we might see this changing weekly or even daily. In marketing, there's algorithms to keep up with. Those are changes that are happening definitely daily. And in finance, I know a lot of people who are reading newsletters and going through emails just to keep up with everything that's happening in the industry. And it can even be, hour to hour changes. So there's a lot happening. And I would just take a second to reflect and just understand the pace of your industry, which will inform how on top of these changes you need to be and the kind of mindset that you might need to adapt. And also, have your strategies evolved in response to these changes, or have you found yourself playing catch up? So have your strategies evolved? At what pace or what cadence do you find yourself currently adapting to everything? Are you open-minded? Are you staying on top of trends? How are you managing with so much information coming at you from every angle, every platform, every person in this industry? How are you filtering through all of that? These rapid changes are precisely what led us to our next evolution of OCO, the shift towards automation. So let me explain why we believe that automation is not just a trend, but a fundamental shift in how businesses will be conducted in the future. So getting into the next slide here. Our decision to embrace automation was not made lightly. It was inspired by our daily observances of how quickly everything was changing around us, from global politics, technological advancements, business requirements. All were evolving at such an unprecedented pace, and what worked for our clients yesterday might not work tomorrow, and strategies that proved successful in one market might fail in another due to local conditions and regulatory changes. So in our own operations, we found ourselves constantly adjusting our approaches, updating our methodologies, and rethinking our service delivery. This adaptability, while valuable, was very resource intensive. We had to ask ourselves, could technology help us maintain our agility while improving efficiency? And could automation free up our team to focus on the creative, strategic thinking that computers can't replicate? So these questions then led us to explore automation not as a replacement for human creativity, but as an enhancement to it. So it was a tool that could handle routine tasks while allowing our team to concentrate on high-value activities. And as we looked more closely at our industries, we recognized that traditional agency models were becoming increasingly obsolete. The rise of freelancer marketplaces like Upwork And Fiverr, which I'm sure many of you are familiar with, had democratized access to creative talent. Project management tools like Asana and Trello made it easier for businesses to coordinate complex projects and without agency involvement. So AI tools were beginning to perform tasks that once required specialized human expertise. For example, marketing strategies, and when you're a marketing agency, that is a huge shift and a big pivot to make just in the mindset. It can get somewhat existential. So these changes, they did pose existential challenges to conventional agencies. And clients were questioning the value of high agency fees when they could directly access talent and tools themselves. The intermediary role that agencies had traditionally played was being eroded quite quickly by technology. So instead of resisting the change, we decided to embrace it. We began to think of not just our operational structure, but our entire value proposition. And if technology was making it easier for clients to directly access creative talent, perhaps our role should shift from being the talent provider to being the curator and the connector, ensuring quality, reliability, and strategic alignment in a fragmented marketplace. So, leads me to my next point, the realization to one of our most strategic pivots, the development of OCO Approved. This platform represents our vision for the future of agency services, a model that embraces automation to reduce the need for intermediaries and directly connect clients to freelancers. By automating administrative processes, project management workflows, and quality control systems, we've created a more efficient ecosystem. This automation reduces costs for clients, provides opportunities for talented freelancers, and allows us to focus on what we do best, ensuring strategic alignment and quality outcomes. So OCO Approved is more than just a platform. It's an expression of our core values of innovation and adaptability, and it recognizes that a future belongs not to those who resist change, but to those who harness it for competitive advantage. The platform also addresses a critical gap in the current freelance marketplace, which is quality assurance. If you've used platforms like Upwork and Fiverr, I'm sure you've had some experiences, whether it's software development or hiring someone to edit your podcast. The quality assurance just isn't really there. And while existing platforms connect clients with freelancers, they often struggle to guarantee consistent quality. So our years of experience working with creative professionals has given us an insight into what distinguishes exceptional talent from merely, adequate partners that you might find on a platform like the formerly mentioned. OCO Approved leverages the expertise to curate a network of pre-vetted professionals, giving clients confidence that the freelancers they engage through our platform will deliver the high standards that they expect. And so another moment for reflection, I would like you to just take a brief moment to imagine a world where all of your routine tasks are automated and what you would do with that free time. So, would you focus on biohacking and potential maxing? Would you spend more time in creative pursuits? Or perhaps you would just like to experience a better work-life balance? For me personally, automation has led to all of the above, with more time to work on my business rather than within it, which actually is how all of this was birthed. OCO Universe, Housing, OCO Strategy, of course, which was the first venture, but also OCO Approved and OCO Assembly, which is the resource and educational platforms for the freelancers that are on OCO Approved. So it's been extremely beneficial for myself, and not being able to work on your business and being stuck in the day-to-day in your business is a problem that a lot of founders face, and it can prohibit scaling opportunity. So the vision of increased automation isn't just in the, distant future whenever AI agents get, perfected and we have all of these tools. No, like the tools are here today. It's already beginning to reshape how businesses engage with service providers and also how we at OCO engage with our clients. And not only our clients, but our freelancers and partners as well. So now I would like to explore how this shift is playing out in real time. So our clients, particularly those in the tech startup space, have quickly embraced the OCO approved model. They appreciate the efficiency of a system that bridges gaps that AI can't yet fill, those areas requiring human creativity, cultural sensitivity, and strategic insight, while leveraging automation to streamline everything else. While you can dream up, this world where there is an AI agent for everything, like I said, there's very fragmented tools that are available for use, but nothing is all-encompassing and nothing has the human quality yet that we need for the formerly mentioned. So while leveraging automation, we are we're leveraging the automation to streamline everything else that is not encapsulated in, the culturally sensitive or locationally relevant work. So what's particularly interesting is how this model has resonated even before our official launch. So we've already had expressions of interest from over 100 businesses that are eager to use OCO approved. And this strong pre-launch interest validates our belief that there is significant market need for a platform that combines the efficiency of automation as well as the quality assurance of expert curation, which is what we have been honing for the past 3.5 years. The appeal extends beyond just cost savings. Clients value the reliability and consistency that our platform relies, which stands on the foundation of credibility that we have been building with our agency. In a world where brand reputation can be broken by a single misstep, knowing that your creative partners have been vetted by industry experts provides invaluable peace of mind. And looking ahead to the next 5 to 10 years, we anticipate profound changes in how businesses operate. AI and automation will not be peripheral to business strategy, but central to it. And I'm sure if there's any founders on here or anyone that's working on a passion project, you know this. If you're on Futurist Expo, I'm sure that you're very familiar with AI tools. And it's quite central to everything that we're building and a lot of the strategy that we're coming up with now. So it's definitely a big one to consider. Companies that fail to integrate these technologies effectively are going to struggle to remain competitive. So it's great that you're here today and listening to all of these speakers, give you the tools and the insights that you'll need to stay competitive. OCO approved is positioned to be at the forefront of this transformation. We're developing tools that are not just technologically advanced, but also adaptable and user-friendly. Our goal is to make sophisticated automation accessible to businesses of all sizes, democratizing access to efficiency gains that might otherwise be available only to large enterprises with substantial technology budgets. So we've noticed this gap within the clients that we work with. We work with very small businesses like mom and pop businesses. And then we've also worked with, like Fortune 500. And there is such a gap in the processes. And it's not necessarily that the processes need to mirror each other. They quite simply can't. But the efficiency gains are incredibly diverse between that spectrum, and it requires a big budget. So my prediction and our goal with this is to democratize that access and make sure that there is a level playing field for everyone to access marketing and creative tools, wherever they are, independent of their location, their skill, their company size. We think that these things should be available to everyone. So we're also mindful that technology is evolving at an exponential rate. What seems cutting edge tomorrow, or today, sorry, might be super commonplace tomorrow. Like the beginning of this presentation here that I was mentioning, the pace that everything is just changing is it's not something that can be fully comprehended with a human mind. And so that's why these systems are so important to have in place. Having automation, it just ensures that the reason that we're designing our platforms with flexibility in mind ensures that we can evolve as technology advances and as user needs change. So beyond just AI and automation, we're also keeping a close eye on several emerging technologies that we believe will reshape business operations globally. These include blockchain for transparent supply chains, extended reality for immersive customer experiences, and quantum computing for solving complex optimization problems. And while these might seem like they have nothing really to do with marketing and branding, it's important to look at technology on a global, macro, big picture scale when you're evaluating, okay, what does the world look like tomorrow? Because as a strategist, I need to, predict what's going to work and, make the business to the best of our ability, fit that image of not only what culture will look like, but also how founders are operating their businesses. What are their processes looking like? Something like supply chain change will massively impact so many different industries, and there could be a completely new type of client or industry that we would then be working with because of these changes. So if you could just keep an open mind and really stay on top of tech changes that are not only within your industry but also on a global scale. Another great reason to attend events like these at Futurist Expo, where everyone is talking about such diverse topics. I think it really helps to kind of expand our awareness and just be up to date with everything that's happening in the world and thinking about how it could possibly be connected to your project or your mission or your values. So, so we expect particularly pivotal advancements in sectors like healthcare, where AI-assisted diagnostics can revolutionize patient care, finance, where decentralized systems could create new models of value exchange, and even space for commerce, which might open up entirely new frontiers for business operations. Oko Universe is committed to ensuring our platforms evolve to meet these future demands. And we're not just building for today's challenges, but for tomorrow's opportunities. And this forward-looking perspective informs everything from our technology investments to our talent development strategies. So just to wrap everything up here, as we conclude today's presentation, I want to emphasize that the future isn't just coming, it's already here. And the pace of change in business, technology, and society is accelerating in both challenges and opportunities. So for organizations willing to embrace transformation, this is huge. And at Oko Universe, we're not just keeping up with the changes, we're aiming to lead the charge. From our origins as a traditional strategy consultancy to our evolution into an automated platform connecting clients with curated talent, we have consistently demonstrated our commitment to innovation and adaptation. So this journey hasn't always been easy. We had to question our assumptions, reimagine our business model, and sometimes venture into uncharted territory, which is somewhere that we tend to find ourselves in most days these days, if I'm being honest. But each step has reinforced our conviction that the most sustainable competitive advantage in today's world is the ability to evolve. So I encourage each of you to connect with us on LinkedIn, share your insights about trends we've discussed today, and join us as we refine OCO approved for its official launch. Your perspectives will be invaluable as we continue to develop a platform that truly serves the needs of businesses navigating the complex landscape. And I just wanted to say thank you so much for your attention today. I am so excited to see how we navigate these super exciting times together. And remember that in a world of constant change, the best approach is not to resist, but to embrace, to adapt swiftly, and to view disruption not as a threat, but as an opportunity for reinvention. And with that, I am happy to take any questions that you might have.